Well, hello. Welcome to the very first ever Dumpster Talk podcast. I sat down with my friend Justin MacDonald. We rambled on for about an hour and didn't really know what we were going to talk about, and I guess that's why the name is now Dumpster Talk, because it's pretty fitting. And yeah, we're going to probably continue to do this for a bit and hope that some people listen to it. So if you do, please enjoy and let us know what you think. All right, cheers.
Can plug it in any time.
Yeah, we're all plugged in now.
All right. Welcome to Act 1.
Potentially the first podcast.
Act 1 of a potential podcast, which we will look back on this.
Yeah.
So far.
The inaugural first podcast.
When we are inevitably massively successful for no good reason.
Yeah, this one's going to go down in history.
We'll get up. Yeah, I was thinking we'll get those like campaign signs. And it'll just be like, we'll call it I got butt fucked by your dad podcast, and we'll just put it everywhere.
iTunes will love that.
Well,
yeah.
We'll put the asterisk over the F.
Over the butthole.
Yeah. Yeah. Just put it over the U. Just that's not a swear
I was
word.
picturing it on a butthole, and then it's just like looks like a butthole.
Yeah, if we actually do it like the Red Hot Chili Peppers symbol, which is an asshole, and we just cross all the words together.
That one needs help, if that's what it is. Like it's always red.
Do you think that's what they're going for?
That's
An
a good
asshole?
question. I didn't realize that, but maybe.
Maybe. I don't think that.
I mean, they named their band Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I don't think that symbolism was invented then. Like no one had
People
calling
were
it
doing. That wasn't even that long ago. It was like fucking what, 15 years ago?
91. Let's say 91. They had that logo out with with the Blood Sugar Sex Magic album. I'm totally.
You're a
making
huge
shit up.
fan.
Clearly. Can you name Anthony Kiedis, Flea, and
The other guy.
the
with
guys
the
that did a
problem.
lot of drugs? Yeah, the guy that lives in a fortress made of paintings. You hear that?
Oh yeah, that's the guy. That's the other guy that was in the band, not in the band.
Yeah, like he lived in
band,
he lived in his mansion, and inside his mansion, he wouldn't come out of a fort that he made out of his own paintings because that's the only spot where the voices wouldn't talk to him.
He's like the Howard Hughes of music.
Which is, I mean, if that works, it's an experiment that went right. Like it's like, hey, guys, schizophrenia is actually beatable. What you need is a lot of canvas,
A lot of canvas, a house. I'm pretty sure that's not like. And he's not in the band anymore, I don't think.
He was in and out all the time. He came back for like the
So
scar tissue.
it didn't work.
Well, he was in the scar tissue thing.
He came back, yeah.
And like even in like a Much Music interview, they go some 13-year-old broad. She steps up to the mic and asks a question, and she goes like, "Why did you let this guy back in the band? You know, why did you forgive him?" And I didn't know what happened to the guy, and like he's there, he's sitting there, like they're talking about
like
him
panel?
like he's not in the fucking room, you know. It wasn't like the Backstreet Boys, like you're wearing boxers or briefs. It was like a real situation. And then it's like, yeah, we forgave him. Would you fucking move on? What's the matter?
Yeah, it's like
who asked that question in front of the guy?
That's a very personal question. You don't need to know.
Pretty harsh.
He's
one.
in the band.
And why don't you stick to what's your favorite color?
Yeah,
you're 13.
How'd you come up with ideas for the album instead of like?
Yeah, where do you get your ideas from?
How'd you guys end up friends again? That was really bad before.
Yeah. Because that'd be fun to do that on a porch with your other friends. Be like, aren't you guys used to be rivals and not like each other? Tell us about that.
You guys hated each other before, remember?
Tell us about that, yeah.
How'd you end up friends again? Is it awkward?
Yeah, there's assholes there's people that do that all the time.
Yeah, you guys used to fuck, right?
Yeah, I still do that, yeah. I did it to you. I did it to you with my ex-girlfriend. Remember that? Because you're like...
Which ex-girlfriend?
When Kristen. So remember I was dating Kristen, and then up at the cottage, I'm just like, "Oh, Smith, you gonna pluck another one on her this evening?"
When I tried to kiss her. Yeah. Was that before you guys dated?
Yeah, you plucked one on her before we dated. But when she told the story, she's like, "He's so fucking cool. I love that guy." And then she got into the story, and one time you came and crashed in the room, or she came and crashed in after you or something. You were already sleeping. And you like rolled over and like plucked one on her, and she's just like kind of gave you a look, and you're like, no, all right,
snoring,
and just like rolled over like, that's super cool. Meanwhile, obviously your heart's bleeding.
But no, I'm sure I didn't care. It's probably like 4 a.m. I don't remember it happening.
Take a shot at this? Yeah, fuck it.
Well, I remember it happening.
That's how it's supposed to go.
15 years ago or something.
Oh, I remember I plucked one on Erin Robinson. I plucked one on her. She came over to study, and we were studying for a driver's test. We're getting our driver's test when we were like way too late, like 17 or 18.
That sounds about right for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, my parents wouldn't pay for a driving test, so I had to get $100 together. It's a big deal.
Still a big deal for you.
Oh, yeah. It's tough to struggle them count bucks together. Gotta call Sweden.
I'm surprised you bought this microphone today.
I just looked at you just like, I know you spend money all the time, so I'll just do the same.
Yeah, I could see how much it hurt you.
Oh, it was
$100,
crushing.
like,
absolutely crushing. $119.
Yeah,
$119.
Can you make sure you tape that receipt on that box? Because, I don't know. I might just buy one of these every time we want to record. You're thinking about it.
There's a lot of truth to that. I do love returning shit and being like, I'm getting away with something here. Always.
Buy a microphone at Walmart. Just return it every time.
Walmart's the way to go. If you want to rip off anyone.
Costco.
No, treat Costco well, treat Walmart like shit.
No, but they don't care. You can return everything.
Yeah, and I've taken advantage of Costco by accident. I'd rather take advantage of Walmart. Like I bought that Xbox, the deal I got upstairs there. I don't know if it was the pre-fire or post-fire one, but I showed them an American
I'm pretty sure this is the post-fire one.
Well, but I don't know which one I bought.
Oh.
Yeah. But I bought, well, who knows?
I'm pretty sure the one
still
upstairs
just shooting sparks and ashes everywhere. I don't know. I think I got it. But it was, I went in there with a $1.99 coupon from the States into a Walmart for a Xbox One, one controller, and 3 games. It came with Gears of War, and I could pick up 2 other games for free entirely for $200. The system ran for $2.99 here alone. So I was like, whoa, and I handed it to him. The guy's like, yeah, sure. Go
yeah, sure.
No, sure, let's go pick it up.
Nobody gives a fuck there.
I've tried doing it again 7 times, and no one falls for it anymore.
I heard the best scam ever. Guy I work with, this is what he does now. And it's not even a scam. It's like they set it up so you can do it. It's Shoppers Drug Mart PC points. And I'm going to fuck it up completely trying to talk about it. But basically what he does is you get points. There's 20 times days. So it's you can get 20 times the points when you buy on certain days.
Okay.
And so he would go in there. He'd buy a PlayStation 4 because they sell fucking video games now or whatever.
Yeah.
Buys a PlayStation 4 on 20 times PC points day or whatever the fuck it is.
Wise. And
he gets 60,000 or whatever the fuck it is. Some insane number.
You can buy a free stick of deodorant next time.
And then he waits for the day that you get. Then they put out, they're like, hey, redeem your points for 3 times the normal amount.
Oh, goodness
And
gracious.
he goes in and he buys a Wii U. And then so he gets a Wii U and then gets way more points for it.
This guy's smarter than
And he's just
bear.
oh yeah, he lives on the app trying. His name's Gary. He's from Scotland. He's awesome.
It's not okay. Let's give us his last name and his address while we're at it too.
I mean, there's a lot of Garys in this world.
We both know this is going international.
All right, I'll bleep him out.
We appeal to the Scots more than anyone else.
We don't have a listener yet, so we don't have to worry
there
about
could be
that.
someone live right now if we're hacked. There could be someone on the spy cam right now. I hope you got tape over that thing, man.
I think I might have preemptively not gone over what a podcast is with you.
And we are on the air live.
Yeah.
Coming at you.
You can say whatever you want. I'll just cut it out.
Yeah, should we take a caller?
Who's tweeting at us right now?
This is a telethon, right? You can call it anytime we're raising money.
The best part about a podcast is you can literally just do it on your own. It's everybody in the world that has a podcast. At some point, every single one of our friends will just only know what happens in each other's lives because we'll just all have a podcast. Yeah. We just won't even have to hang out anymore.
You're just going to be like Data from Star Trek where you can listen to 400 podcasts at the same time.
Oh, man, those people are fucked up.
Does people do that?
I'm assuming somebody's doing that. Somebody's taking content in left brain, right brain, just just full Android.
Yeah, just full Android mode. That's nice. There was always Data in Star Trek. He was always doing. He would take he would listen to 20 symphonies at once. He'd listen to, Beethoven's Eighth, and then all that shit all at the same time. It was
2
goddamn
songs,
noise.
or a billion songs, or
a billion songs at the same time, and he was just taking it all in the same time.
He's a computer,
and he'd be petting a cat and shit, and playing a mandolin. Data had it down, man. You can't beat that dude.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, everyone needs to have heroes.
Have their Data.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone needs a data.
Everyone needs data.
Everyone needs
a guy can dream. Justin, you can do that. Don't let anyone tell you.
People don't need heroes. People just need to look up the data.
I mean, literally nothing's stopping you from listening to 8 different symphonies at once. You can do it. It just might not sound that great.
Yeah, no, I know I can do it. I just don't want people to know that I'm doing it because I'd be like, he's not actually doing it. But the whole time, like, I know I can.
Maybe Data wasn't doing it. You don't know if he was processing it. He was just trying to look cool in front of like the other star babes.
When Worf came walking in and being like, "Oh fuck," he's like crank up 7 other symphonies real quick.
Yeah, yeah. He was only listening to one.
He's trying to look cool for chicks. He boned in Star Trek. Do you know that?
No, I haven't watched enough Star Trek to know that.
He you never watched any TNG?
Not enough to know that. No.
Oh fuck yeah. He there was something took over the Enterprise. It was some anomaly. And,
no way.
Everyone got crazy horny. The whole ship got crazy horny. And then this one broad, this like blonde broad, I think she was like in the first and second season, and none of the rest, she got killed. And Data, she's like, so you got like gear working down there? And he's like, oh yeah, I got like, all that technical
anatomically
terms.
correct.
I'm anatomically correct down there. And I can, do this procedure and all that shit. And she's like, yeah, check that out. And they boned.
And they boned. Wow.
You didn't see it.
They didn't show anything? Like it wasn't even
No,
like...
you can go back.
They just go behind one of the slider doors.
Yeah, you go to the director's cuts, and I'm sure it's just like got Data's yellow anus just
Robo
bobbing around. Yeah.
I'm hard.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's how we talked. Yeah. You've never watched it.
No,
You've never watched it. Brett Spiner.
I can picture him. He was like super pale.
Yeah. He was, pale, yeah.
I remember...
Yellow. He had yellow eyes. He was pale. I guess you call
I know
him pale.
Picard. I know Data. I know Wesley.
Oh, Wesley Crusher was like the most... I guess he's super hated, Wesley Crusher.
Really?
Yeah, he was like... everyone hated him.
That's what I never understood about that show. Will Wheaton. I know Will Wheaton. I don't know him, but I know who he is. He, the thing I never got into it. For one, I loved the first one. It was like super campy and like just ridiculous. So that was a lot of fun. And then this one was like, you're in space, you're like supposed to protect the free, and you're like this enterprise of like keeping shit from going nuts in the world.
Yeah, you're spreading democracy across places that
and
have
meanwhile,
no business wanting it.
You're forcing democracy on the rest of the universe.
You're just going around interfering and you're sticking your finger in shit.
And meanwhile, they're showing you the most boring parts of that. They're showing you no battles. They're showing you no maybe they were, but the episodes I saw was like someone arguing over tea or Wesley crying in the corner. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like,
yeah, well, that's I heard an interesting spin on
soap opera in space.
Yeah, I heard one interesting spin I saw on it was and there's going to be TNG fans listening right now live, and I don't want to offend anyone. But
again, not live,
very much live, going out there.
I hope you don't say anything.
But no, okay. You know? So it goes. It went something like this. There's the Ferengi, the Klingon, the Kardashians, not the Cardassians. You got to
really?
Yeah, there's the Kardashians, like the cunts.
Yeah,
and
Kim and the rest.
Cardassians and the Cardassians and the Klingons and the Romulans. So Romulans were dark elves. The Klingons were dwarves. It was all based on
like
Tolkien
Middle
stuff.
Earth.
It was all totally based on that. They're saying like every one of them. The Ferengi were I guess they would have been not
orcs.
No, like trolls. So they were like the money grubber ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, dark elves, white elves, trolls, gnomes, humans. It was all.
I liked the
categorized.
The new movies. Those I enjoyed.
I did not care for the second one.
Oh, what was the one? The last one I didn't care for. The one where they defeated them by playing Beastie Boys through loudspeakers was really weird.
Oh yeah, they did sabotage, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they beat them because
it was like they played it through their system, which caused so much distortion they could beat the enemy.
Is that?
And it was literally just a chance for them to...
Are you being serious?
I'm being 100% serious.
Oh, really?
That's how they won the end of that. They put on the classical track Sabotage.
I retract my statement based on that statement alone. Obviously, it's an awesome movie. It's it's a movie I've tried to watch twice and fell asleep both times.
Yeah, you should go right to the ending and just watch that part. I love that song, so I'm like, oh, cool. This is wicked.
Nobody doesn't like Sabotage, and it's at least played. Of the 5 or 6 Beastie Boys songs played on the radio.
It's played a lot. Well, maybe not on the radio.
They play the shittiest one. Is the No Sleep Till Brooklyn. They play that all the time, and then they also play
the party one.
Party One. Yeah, what is that? And that's the most
Fight
hated
for Your
song.
Right.
Yeah, and they hate that song.
I heard they hate it.
They
yeah.
absolutely. They made
Apparently
it as a novelty.
a mock that
Yeah.
for like all the losers that would show up to parties.
Yeah, it was supposed to be just shit, and then
Yeah.
I guess their producers is like, that's actually the most popular one. They're gonna nail it. No, so fuck. Sad.
And they had what's his face from Slayer play the fucking solo in that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Carrie.
He gets around, that dude. That goatee guy, bald with a goatee.
Yeah, if you ever watch the video, he like bursts through in the party.
I see him there. No. He would be there too. He's got his fingers in a lot of pies, but I wouldn't really. I guess I would know him to see him, but I don't want to see him.
Yeah, I wouldn't recognize him. I mean, I'd probably walk by him in Oshawa. I have no idea.
Yeah, your girlfriend was talking about how she ran into the broad from the Cranberries. And like, who would recognize
in
her?
Oshawa.
Yeah,
I
in
would
Toronto, not in Oshawa, in Toronto.
In Oshawa.
The Oshawa Mall?
The Oshawa Center.
Get the fuck out of here.
The
What's she doing here?
I don't fucking know.
There's
why.
no way that was her under any
She said-
circumstances. Why would that be
She
her?
lives in Toronto, but she's out here.
Okay, all right. I would have thought she lived in Ireland.
No, she married a Canadian and moved to Toronto.
All right. Well, I still can't believe that she would be in
I don't remember her name. I
Center.
feel like really terrible not remembering her name.
That's fine. It's fine. It's probably like Magpie O'Hallahan. It's fine.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, sorry, O'Houlihan.
I think she did have a last name like that, though. Fuck, I don't remember now. It just feels disrespectful. Like,
Well, that
she's
sounds
not
like a
going to be
dick.
pissed or anything, I guess.
No, it's probably O'Connor, and yeah, she doesn't have the ability to get pissed anymore.
I keep wanting to say, like, Irene.
Irene, that's Bone's mom.
Yeah, never mind.
Irene Bone.
Also infamous.
Yeah, because I took it as a point of pride because she called on the telephone once, and I go, oh, it says I Bone.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, that must be Irene as a joke. I had no idea what her name was.
And you just
nailed it, yeah.
You just nailed it.
Because how many women's names start with I? Can you name another one?
No.
Yeah. Give it a shot. I know what you're going to say. I'm going to say it at the same time while
Isabel.
you say it.
Was that what you thought I was
Yeah,
gonna say?
no, I thought you were going to say Eileen. And I was like, that's an E,
It's
though.
like the same thing.
It's an E, though. Eileen starts with an E-I.
Oh, yeah.
So, Isabel, yeah, damn it. You got me on that one. Shit.
Yeah.
Well, kudos. You want that
Well,
open?
no, I'm good.
Oh, yeah, shit.
I got this one here.
You're moving slow.
It's all right.
You're not driving home.
Yeah, I gotta drive home.
No, we'll get your keys to us. It's fine. You're here now.
Potentially.
But then you work at noon. No matter what happens, you're fine.
That's true. So as far as the inaugural podcast, we don't really have any direction yet.
Oh, right.
We don't have a name yet.
No.
We don't know really what we're doing at all. I
The
mean, I can
sniffles.
look at the computer. I can tell that it's recording, so that's good news. But we should probably try to figure out some sort of name.
A name, maybe an audience motivator. Like if you have a cold, maybe you should listen to this podcast or something like
If you have a cold podcast.
If you have a cold, yeah. If you have a cold, podcast.
So every sick person out there
Yeah.
who's annoyed by any sound ever and just like, I don't want to fucking be annoyed at all.
I'd rather sleep.
Let me put these two bumbling idiots in my ears. All I want is sleep, but I'm going to just listen to these two fuckheads. That's probably not going to work.
Okay, fair. Fair is fair. But like this is how it's called brain clouding.
Brainstorming.
No, it's clouding.
No, that's like where you store all your nudie pics.
Oh, that's in the cloud.
Yeah.
No, I got rid of that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want anyone to go looking at those.
Yeah. Well,
They might figure out what kind of babes I'm into, and then
everyone knows what kind of babes you're into.
everyone does.
Yeah.
Black hair, jumbo jugs, tatties.
Yeah.
I'm big into tatties, but
Big into tattoos.
never had a tattooed broad though. Never did.
You're very, very upset by saying, like, I could see it in your eyes when you said
Yeah,
it.
I had one that had some tats, but it said like
Brie will never get tattoos.
she won't. She won't.
There's not a chance.
No, she wants to get one on her fingers. Like, like
okay.
of all things, she wants to like not be
whatever.
exposed. I guess it just feels like a dainty little nail polish thing to her. It
Yeah.
feel like a little holy
My
trinity. on her
sister's
finger.
got like 3 on her hands.
Yeah, and well, Rob Law's ex-girlfriend, she dug it in herself. She drew a heart.
Well, that's just dumb.
It's maniacal, right?
Like, I wouldn't even do it.
Why did we get? She did it with a pen. You know, she like actually carved it
Yeah.
out and then dipped the ink in there and shit.
There's professionals out there.
Yeah.
like why not pay somebody to do it?
I think it was
right?
like someone that came from like the Kurt Cobain era, and she's like, self mutilation is pretty cool right now, according to like Bass Player magazine or something. So like she just did
she like Reddit and Spin magazine.
She read it. Spin was the one I was looking for, but I couldn't.
I feel like Spin would do that.
No, it was Bass Player magazine. They did a spot on self tattoos
on just stick and pokes. That's what stick and pokes.
Is that what a stick and poke is? I'm open to it.
I got a buddy who does stick and pokes. He does some great ones. I'll show you after. Yeah.
For free?
Well, I don't know if he just does them on himself.
Well, let me know.
He did like a T-Rex with a bow tie. He's pretty good at it.
I'll be a muse, a canvas for this gentleman.
His stick and pokes.
Tell him to come down here with his fucking stick and his little weight. And...
he's in Toronto. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm sure he'd love to come to Whippy. I mean, we got the lady from the Cranberries down here. We got everything going on.
Yeah, she makes the trip. Or did.
So as for topics, I had a really good topic that I wanted to bring up before we started this, like immediately before we started this. But I guess
should have wrote it down.
I just fly me all the time, so I'll come up.
I just feel like more natural is better though. Like if we can just shoot the shit for a bit, but maybe we should come prepared because right now we're probably spitballing all the ideas we're gonna have, and then the next time it's gonna be like crickets.
Well, no, I don't think so. Yeah, natural talking's fine by me, but. What was that?
I would like to. This is what I'd like to talk about. I would like to shit talk the person who stole the idea that I thought I had been original about.
Yeah, that's reasonable. But
and then
they drove it into the ground like
they
Letterman
did. They did a whatever
probably.
job. I can't even say that because I didn't listen to one of them.
Who cares?
But
they gave up.
But they gave up. They haven't posted anything since 2013.
You quit.
Yeah, they just full on quit. They've stolen the website. They've got the .com. They got everything going on.
They got the .com.
Yeah, they got
Jesus
.com and everything.
Christ.
I'm not going to say anything about it because I might even like message them. Maybe they'll be cool. Maybe they'll be like, "Yeah, dude, carry it on."
Let me ask you this: though. Was it a pair of broads?
Nope. No, I don't think so. There was a guy named Brian.
There is one thing you should know: is that I can't be intimidated.
No,
so, no. If it comes down to a physical altercation, you can count on me to start that.
There was a contact phone number with a 367 area code.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it said if you'd like to be next on the podcast, call this number.
You can just be some dick. Really?
So yeah, I was thinking of calling it.
That'd be fun, actually. Maybe I should start guest calling around to podcasts
to see if you can like just guest on podcasts.
I've been asked by two others.
Why didn't you do it?
One guy lived in BC. And he's like, well, we'll do it over the phone. I'm like, oh, all right, just let me know when it happens. And then another guy just conceptually, like yourself, just said we should do it. And I said, yeah.
Yes.
yeah, sure. Yeah. Robert Downey. I just Robert Downey'd him. Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, sure.
Do you follow him on Instagram?
Robert Downey?
Yeah.
Probably, but I've completely congested my Instagram with bikini babes.
Right.
I get no significant content.
How many people are you following right now? Like 4,000?
I think it was 300,099.
Over 3K.
It was either $2.99 or $3.99, but it was. I thought it was funny because I was at the $3.99 mark, like I didn't want to crest the 4,000 mark or something.
And like what 300 are actually people you might have met or know,
or
celebrities.
Yeah, and I have a lot of tattoo artists and a lot of like geek artists, patch people, button people, all that stuff.
And
but I mean,
throw all those in a bucket. What do you got?
90% bikini babes.
Yeah,
and that's probably a conservative estimate. Sadly, but I did the thing where because it suggested friends, and I was just like, oh, that one, like if you like her, you're like this one, and bang, 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 and it's knocked like out 100 at once. And I figured, well, they're gonna throw the content at me. If something's actually gross, it's gone.
True.
And that happens maybe 1 in every 100 photos I see. Like that one's gone. That's because that's gross.
And then you've stopped following.
Just be a pulsing anus showing. I mean, well,
really on Instagram?
Wow. Then, actually, they get away with a lot. Some of them. There's like a Playboy Hungary, and it's just full nudes and like full spread. Like it's like a hustler. I'm going like, well, I thought this is against the rules, but they're just getting away with it somehow. I don't know.
I haven't followed a couple like tattoo babes, and that's like as far as I went. And then when I realized that started to outweigh the people that I actually knew, I went back and was like, okay, like I don't care about these people anymore. If I want to look up hot babes, I just look up hot babes. But
yeah, I like to stumble across them like it's not my fault. Hey, man, I just followed them. They're the
You
ones putting it up.
follow 3,000 plus.
I don't know. Hey, man, I just followed them.
Yeah.
If they want to put the content up
They
like that.
just keep showing up in my
I just like
newsfeed.
the
I
quality
don't
of
get
her
it.
character. I didn't know she was going to put this kind of stuff up. That was...
She was going to school. I had to.
It was a suggestion. This would help. That does. You know what? That is totally fair, actually, to say. Like, she's putting herself through college, man.
Yeah. You know, like, the
I
more
just look at her
followers
ad
she
for
gets, the more she
50.
can become a lawyer.
Yeah. I just like how hollow and just, I guess, obvious their attempts are to be like, I'm born in December. Is anyone else born in August? Make a comment. And you're like, dude, we know what you're trying to do.
They're like,
you're trying to
it's just-
monetize.
Yeah, it's just content. It's content over everything else. But this is what I want to bring up. So Robert Downey Jr. Posted this live video of his party, and it was him dancing around in like bell bottoms and like to this live 80s rock band. And the rock band was wicked. They were fucking pretty good.
Didn't want to insult them.
Yeah, no, I don't know who they were, but they were pretty good. They played like Footloose and like a bunch of jams like that, and they did a great job. And like Robert Downey, I thought he was sober, but like I have a hard time believing it watching this fucking video.
That is what happens with sober people, I believe. That still have to keep partying or schmoozing.
Yeah.
Like I've had some sober friends that are incredible at partying. There's Wood. There was like Ty Odgers. I
don't know, man. This guy was he looked out of his mind.
Well, I don't. Has he ever claimed to be sober?
Well, I don't know. I just assumed that if he wasn't, he'd be right back in his Charlie Chaplin days.
No, I think he might just be that strong of mind that he's just like, yeah, I took that too far, but that was cocaine. Maybe he can just do booze. Maybe he didn't do the AA thing where you have to remove all substance abuse.
Maybe, yeah.
Because it might just be there's use and abuse, and there's a difference, and if he can actually walk the line.
Mean, if he ever got back into that shit, Disney would just give him the boot right away. So he'd be fucked. Like, that would just be like, see you later,
Disney's
Tony
running
Stark.
Renegade now, too, though, aren't they? Like, Disney's so big, there's different corporations inside of Disney suing each other. They're so big. Have you heard of this?
I never heard that.
I just heard it like in a stupid fact thing. You know, you're scrolling through facts.
Like,
but yeah,
like
they're so big they like sue each other and shit.
Fucking whatever.
Yeah, they just I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what Dipley is. No, it's actually Instagram.
Yeah.
It was like, you know what it probably was? Babes and Facts. I'm not fucking with you either. It's like black and white bikini babes, and they'll post
and they're
fact.
telling you that Disney's
that's my news
Marvel
feed.
Studios.
That's my news feed now.
Yeah. Well, that's where you get all of your current events.
Yeah, I heard Trump got elected president.
Who did you hear that from? Babe 123.
I don't know. It's
political babe.
I'll have to fact check it. What's the Babes and Facts 847? Pretty reliable source there.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they posted it, must be real.
Yeah, but Robert Downey. Oh, remember that I talked about earlier? Shia LaBeouf. Where do we fit him in?
Into what?
I asked you earlier about an hour ago. I said, where would you fit Shia LaBeouf into a? Is it MCU? You guys call
MCU?
Into the MCU,
the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
But it doesn't have to be in that genre. Any sort of comic book genre, wherever.
You know, I don't think he fits into the MCU. I think
strange?
that he's too far out there, too weird, that he would get the job at DC.
He's too much of him.
He'd be somewhere in the DC. They'd put him in as like fucking Lex Luthor or something.
That's funny you say that. I was like, as you started saying DC, I'm like, oh, he's Lex Luthor. But the second you said DC, I was like, oh yeah, fuck, he's Lex Luthor. Shit.
Or like you could pick any number of Batman villains, and he'd play a fucking weird one.
But a lot of Batman villains suck, though. I mean,
they
always have to readapt them.
Think of
redo
him
them.
as like the Riddler.
That might be a good Riddler.
He'd probably be crazy, fucking weird Riddler.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this might get super comic book weird, but do you remember Zaz?
Wasn't Zaz like the bald guy that ripped off his own face or something?
He had like, what I don't know what you call those things where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you strike through 5.
Tallies.
Tally, like all these tally scars on his body.
Yeah, he was
had
all
like thousands of them,
and
one for every person he killed or something.
Lord, yeah.
But I could see him being like that weird fucking dude.
Yeah, all right. So unappealing. What about a charismatic
he's not
person?
Unappealing. Yeah, he's not appealing in any way. Like,
what I think is I like him. I find him to be a charismatic guy.
I liked him in that Sia video. He was like dancing all weird.
Yeah, that was.
It was
cool.
a little weird, but
he's an artist. I actually believe he wants to pursue art, And he lets that get in the way of Hollywood, but Hollywood will shit on you all the time.
That's true.
For not running the same game.
He's speaking true to himself. Whatever he feels right. He's not just fitting into a box.
I do wish the best for him. People mock him and make fun of him. I think.
What was that meme that he did?
He's always like flexing in front of a camera or something. I don't know,
screaming like, "This is your day." Or
I think it was like a big
positive.
It was like a Tony Little or whatever that guy is. I think that guy.
Yeah, the banana hands guy. What movie? Who's it from? Movie? Tony Robbins.
Like
Tony Robbins.
Shallow Hal.
Shallow Hal.
Shallow
He
Hal?
shakes it. He's like shakes his hand in an elevator, and he's like, "Oh, it's like shaking a bunch of bananas."
I guess I haven't seen. I didn't really focus.
I'll
on
never
Shallow
forget that. Someone mentions Tony Robbins. I'm like,
No banana
he's
hands?
got a huge head. He's got a bunch of bananas as a hand. I'll never forget it.
Oh, that's fun. What about? Okay, so who's another guy? I was gonna say Edward Norton, but we already fit him in. He was a great Hulk. I thought that was a
Yeah, but I heard he
fantastic
was
Hulk.
an asshole. So then they were just like, yeah, no.
Yeah,
See you later.
I'm sure he's a difficult guy. He's an intellect. I can't imagine that going very well in any trailer when you're waiting around to film for like 12 hours and shit, and then some asshole tells you got to pull it together in 10 minutes, and you're Edward Norton, and you're actually awesome at acting.
Yeah, but everyone else does it.
Yeah,
So,
I think he's got more to his craft than a lot of.
And I
other
think
actors.
the what's his face that they got now is way better, anyways.
Yeah, Ruffalo's a good dude.
Ruffalo's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Think about this. Who are these? Okay, think of actors. Now I got one in my mind.
Okay.
They're making like a comeback. Like they used to be kind of big, then they were gone for a while. Now they're back. So mine that I'm thinking of right now, John Goodman.
Oh,
I feel
okay.
like he was gone for a little bit, but now everything he does is pretty fire. So
He's never. Well, don't. Let's not use that term.
He's
Let's not say
on
lit.
fire.
Let's not say lit or fire. All right.
Sure, whatever. I work with a bunch of 20-year-olds.
I know
It gets
tough.
inbred inside.
That's
my
very
brain.
tough. I work with construction guys. I can't. I haven't said.
I'm surprised you're not racist.
I haven't made any gay slurs yet or any
Yeah.
racial slurs yet, and that's all I get hit with all day. So.
Construction, the last known place of racism.
Oh God,
not
it's
the last,
awful.
not the last. It's all over the fucking place. But I'm so happy I don't work in that. It's like I can't bite my tongue around it anymore. So it's just like
It's a
I
fucking
don't have to be
nightmare,
around
man.
it.
It's a fucking nightmare.
Say so.
But the thing is, it's a mishmash of dudes. There's high school dropouts, 50%, and then there's guys who just thought, fuck university and
Yeah,
go after an apprenticeship, and they got it really early on. And there's me. I got it like 29, and I got in.
yeah, because you're like, what else am I gonna do?
I ran all my
But you're not
options.
alone. There's not just you that did that. Like a million people were like,
Oh yeah,
fuck, I need to get a job.
I have apprentices older than me right now. That are starting in because they're like, well, I'm not going to make this wage anywhere else, and it sucks to start all over, but they're well on their way.
So back to the question.
Sorry. Yeah,
I mean, great topic.
Yeah,
Great topic.
who's well on their way on a comeback? Who is in the midst of a comeback?
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying: is those comeback, those that like Robert Downey Jr. was like on a comeback, became Tony Stark.
That's
so
an unbelievable comeback. Yeah.
So say John Goodman, who does he become for the Marvel Universe?
Oh, Kingpin. Wouldn't that be
shit.
cool?
That would be cool.
That would be.
They
cool.
already got a Kingpin on Netflix.
They do?
Yeah, have you watched Daredevil?
Oh, I haven't watched any of the series. I tried watching
Daredevil's got an awesome Kingpin. I forget the
I
fucking
watched the
actor's name.
Daredevil one because
He's
I want to
so
get
good.
into the Punisher one, and I watched the Punisher one, which was like.
Did you watch the Daredevil?
I watched the Daredevil one to the point where the Punisher was introduced, and then Punisher. I was at a flux in time where the Punisher came out while I was watching season 2 of the Daredevil. So they just kind of flowed into each other. I'm like, I don't have to watch Daredevil anymore because I'm not a big Daredevil guy. I got to watch Punisher, and good God, was Punisher slow.
I enjoyed it.
As cool as
I
it
loved
was, it was.
I thought it was fucking great. It
so
started
slow.
off slow, but really, I thought it built
Well,
up.
I just got the concept. I understand. Okay, you got to lay low. Like they really
Sure.
just drove home. Like you got to lay low.
I
Like,
think John Goodman would be
get it,
great.
man.
I think he'd be great. I don't know about him with a bald head. That might look weird.
yeah, that wouldn't look nice.
Excuse me.
I think, but he's had a bald head in something else. I think
that does.
it sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To have a bald head.
Yeah.
Or who? Do you think he could fit in anyone else?
Because I always think of his mass and size. I want to say the Blob because that's just like a shitty thing to say.
Yeah.
Do I fit him in anywhere else? I don't know if I fit him anywhere. You must have an idea already.
No, that's how I was.
No?
I was like, who's making a comeback? Who's like a long time here, like Robert Downey Jr. Been around forever.
I think he's been disinterested. Not necessarily he's making a comeback. I think he's just literally just kind of laid low and he's done his thing. And now he put all his eggs in that basket with Roseanne. That went well.
Oh fuck,
that sucks.
I think you probably nailed it with Kingpin because I don't know if there's anyone else that I could see him doing.
Yeah,
I think
Kingpin was British in the ones I'm familiar with. I watched the Spider-Man cartoon and I watched the X-Men. Yeah, I watched the X-Men cartoon and the Spider-Man cartoon. Like that was my
childhood.
Well, I won't say it was my childhood, but that was my outlet to the Marvel Universe. I had the Marvel Universe Encyclopedia,
your introduction,
and I watched X-Men and Spider-Man, and that's all I knew about any of it. And I bought the odd comic book, but you can't just buy the odd comic book because he's get thrown into the middle of a story. And
Marvel's bad for that, too.
What are you doing? Yeah.
You have no idea what's going on. It's like, hey, in the previous 6 different issues you haven't read, this is what happened.
Yeah, and they want to sell you on that. There was a sales technique, and I was like, well, how do I even get to learn? It was tough. And I would end up with like grocery store comic books my mom would bring home, they still had Spider-Man in them, but they were like, they were just randomized. So you weren't getting a part of a series.
Yeah, no, you're just picking up the random weekly.
Yeah.
All right, so next celebrity.
I have one.
Oh, okay.
May I suggest him?
Yeah.
I have a hero in mind for him already.
Okay. Let me try to get a hero before you say yours. So say the name. Say the. I'm
gonna say my actor's name first.
Yeah.
Okay. Bruce Campbell.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Right. Wouldn't you love?
I know who he should be.
Oh,
and this is a deep cut into the Marvel universe, but Wonder Man.
Oh, I don't know Wonder Man.
Wonder Man is like he's like sunglasses, jacked.
Yeah.
Like he's like yeah.
That'd be nice.
He's like Marvel's answer to kind of Superman, kind of.
Oh.
But
then I probably do know of him.
Yeah, I used to collect all the Marvel cards.
Yeah.
So I know all the characters.
Wonder
I
Man.
never read them.
Wait a minute. There's a Wonder Man. I guess I'm going way far away here, but there's a show called Saturday TV Funhouse, and Wonder Man was a character on
Saturday TV Funhouse.
Saturday TV Funhouse was Saturday Night Live. It was like Rob Schmeigel's Schmeichel. It was his cartoon show.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're
talking about. So, Wonder Man, he had a character called Wonder Man. And Wonder Man's whole persona was going around saving women's lives, but also trying to get his alter ego laid. So he'd be like, Wonder Man, she'd save some broad's life. And Wonder Man, you're amazing. You know who's really amazing? Clark Jansen. I've heard he's got a penis the size of a house. See you later. And he lives at the side.
And then Clark Jansen would walk by. Yeah. Smart.
And that was Wonder Man. That's my Wonder Man.
Well, yeah, no. So Bruce Campbell. I never watched that Evil Dead series. I keep meaning to watch that.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I've heard good things.
I think bad acting was the problem.
So who do you think he would be then?
Well, the one I've always had in my mind, because I was a big fan of this guy, was Multiple Man.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of charisma. But
no. Not Matt Murdock.
Oh, you know his name? I don't know his name.
Jamie Maddox.
But he's a jerk, right? He's mostly
Multiple Man,
mostly a jerk. Sure. He's a criminal, but he errs on the side of both sides. He'll help you out. He'll screw you over. He's a jinx.
I think you kind of nailed it there. I think that would be good.
I love that guy.
The next one that I had in mind for him, for Bruce Campbell, would be. Do you remember Craven?
Yeah, the Hunter.
The Hunter.
Yeah, I know
Craven the Hunter. I was picturing a bit of Craven the Hunter.
Wasn't he
they
Russian
give him a
though?
mustache a bit. He'd have to throw in some shitty accent or something, probably.
Yeah.
And he'd butcher it, but
he played a pretty good French accent in the Spider-Man's 1, 2. I think it was 1, 2, and 3. Bruce Campbell played a cameo in all 3 of the Tobey Maguire.
Really?
I know he was in. I can absolutely confirm.
Because of Sam Raimi, who did the first Evil Dead.
He was a maitre d' in the first one for sure.
Right.
And I think
you remember that
replaced. I think he popped in the other ones as well.
Yeah. No, I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's somebody who hasn't come back to Hollywood yet. But if he were, if he were to come back, who do you think he would be? And I might have somebody. Rick Moranis. He's got to fit. Where would you put him?
There's no way. The quintessential lame dad. Where do you fit him?
Rick Moranis comes back, and Marvel finds the perfect place to fit him. Where is it?
That's impossible. That's impossible. You have to find like the lamest superhero. Like you'd have to find the lame. Like the lamest one.
I mean, lame or like I feel like there. I have somebody who I think would be quirky enough for him to do it, but it's kind of a weird villain. So I don't know.
A weird villain that'd be quirky enough for that. I went straight to like the Wizard. Do you know anything about the Wizard?
No.
The Wizard is like
the
Wizard. Essentially, the cool part about the Wizard is like the first mutant ever, and he could just run really fast. And he would help people out, but he'd just he'd do
He's like the Flash,
but he'd do like really mundane things.
No,
he'd just like help people cross the street super fast.
Yeah.
And he ended up being like 90 years old and stuff. But he did stuff during like the world. He got drafted. Did World War II and World War I and all this shit.
So he lived really long.
Yeah, he was like. So by the time he like met Peter Parker, he was like 99 years old.
But still, like,
Peter Parker found, because he did like one thing to like, I think he robbed a bank to like help his like really old wife and like sort it out. And Peter Parker busted him, and the Wizard's like, well, check me out. I wear
That's
this.
kind of fitting. I think Rick Moranis lost his wife, so like,
Rick Moranis lost his wife?
I think so.
In real life?
Yeah, in like real life. That's why he left acting. He had to raise his kids.
Oh, oh my God, Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like Everybody Loves Raymond. Who's that?
Not a chance.
Oh no, Rick Moranis.
He's not allowed in the I figure.
Oh, you know, it'd be a good Rick Moranis. Okay, I guess
Ray
it'd be.
no.
Ray Romano. Yeah.
Oh no. Fuck that guy. My mom loves that show. I hated it.
Actually, it was one of the better ones.
Deborah.
Sadly.
Deborah.
Watching. Yeah.
Deborah.
Yeah. Well, there was something. He was always insulting his wife. I thought that was fun.
Is this the worst?
It was about how marriage is more of a.
Rick Moranis was like, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I completely know who Rick Moranis is.
Lord Helmet.
A Strange Brew. Yeah, Lord Helmet. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I go straight to what's it called? Is it called Cranium? Or the brain?
Brainiac.
Is it Brainiac? Yeah.
That's exactly who I was thinking.
Yeah, that would. Yeah,
that is 100% exactly. I should have written it down. That's exactly who I was
thinking.
thinking.
I believe you. You don't have to.
I said like a weird, quirky villain. So I was surprised that you picked.
Yeah, he was the guy that with mostly his head was a box with legs and arms coming out of it. Was that him?
No.
Was that Brainiac?
No, that was
not Mojo.
Modak.
Okay.
Modak is the worst. But Brainiac was like a Hulk villain, and he had like a crazy.
Yeah,
brain.
he helped create Abomination.
They teased him in that Hulk movie.
And the Edward Norton. Yeah.
Yeah. At the end, the guy's head's bubbling and going weird.
Yep. Yeah, I remember all that.
But I think Rick Moranis would have made a way better. Oh wait, no, was that Leader? No, that was Brainiac.
Yeah. Well, but you know what? We're all on the same lines here. He would have been
all the like
giggly,
and all the millions of
nerds
nerds listening to this are gonna be so pissed. They're like just butchering it.
Well, I mean, that and the fact that I thought you were talking about Ray Romano for like 20 minutes. That was pretty bad.
Oh, Deborah. I can't do it like any justice, but it's fucking terrible. He's just the worst. His parents, I fucking hated them too. His brother.
Oh no! Well, the dad was super funny.
No, he wasn't.
The dad the dad was the Frankenstein in Young Frankenstein in the Mel Brooks movies.
I remember.
Oh fuck, he was a funny guy.
He was. Yeah, he was. I remember that, and
he never wanted to admit to any.
He
emotion.
had just as much personality.
Okay, all right. There was a good bit on the show. There was one very funny bit. There was a funeral that him and his brother had to attend with the family and everything. And Ray goes to his brother. He goes, "You're not going to make that sound you always make at funerals, are you?" And he goes, "What sound?" He goes, "Fine, just go sit down." So Ray goes up to do his speech and whatever. And like mid-speech, his brother goes, "Huh?"
His brother said,
his brother's just sitting in a pew. I guess it's like an anti-cry thing or something. He's unaware that he makes this sound. It was a really good bit. It was a very funny bit.
Yeah, maybe it was.
Well, I mean, there must be these comedy writers. There's something behind a lot of stuff.
Ray wrote his own show. I think he was like a main writer on that.
Well, they get punched up by tons of other writers, and they submit their own ideas and. From whatever
that show, man. I just can't, and I couldn't handle that fucking like canned laughter anymore. I think I just like got outdone by the 80s. Did me in.
It's done. I mean, it's really on its way out. The three walls and the canned laughter.
Yeah,
it's gone.
No, it's back. Have you watched that show?
Well, there's Reba. Like, there's always gonna be idiots. There's
their Netflix did one. That
what?
The Ranch.
Yeah, that was.
I watched one episode.
No.
Couldn't do it.
Bree watched the entire Full House 2. Like,
oh god,
they're making more seasons of it. Like, the people are just eating it up.
DJ.
You can't. You honestly, like, you have to realize the most popular thing in the U.S. for like 10 years, most popular show in the U.S. was WWF. WWF was number one for 10 years, without question, like by a gigantic margin. The U.S. audience is a huge pile of stupid people. There's a bunch of dummies. There's a ton of dummies. I don't think
it sucks, but yeah, you're probably right.
Well, real popular culture isn't made by those people, but it is catered to.
It's made for those people.
Yeah. So there's always going to be a bunch of dummies watching shit, but they're not making anything. They're not artists. They're just fucking morons.
Yeah, that's why there's still fucking like crazy beauty pageants for 8-year-olds. Whatever.
So we're still on topic, right? When we were talking about Bruce Campbell.
I know we're all over the fucking place. We'll figure that out. I think it's still interesting. Yeah. I think that we'll find a flow. Maybe we'll actually figure out some sort of like format of some sort.
I like the idea of naming actors and adapting them to characters. That's a fun idea.
Giving them characters where they fit. Yeah. We could do that. Yeah.
We didn't try a woman anywhere, but women are so linear in movies in the first place. It's hard to even.
Well, the sad part about it is that there's not that many to pick from, which is fucking terrible.
Well, they just cycle them in and out. There's a new one every year.
Who do you think should play Rogue?
I don't know. Maybe Olivia Munn. Wait, no, she already did something else, and they got rid of her already too.
Yeah, she was an awesome Psylocke.
That's what they do with women.
Amy Adams.
Movies.
I think Amy Adams would be good. She's got like a little bit of
Rogue.
Flair. Nah, she maybe doesn't have that flair.
Yeah, nah, it'd have to be somebody with some broad shoulders. Somebody that you could actually believe could like fly and hold a car over her head or something at the same time.
Yeah,
maybe someone.
She had an accent, right? Or am I thinking? Yeah, she had that. Yeah, she had an accent. Same with
British.
Gambit.
Is she not super British, or is that shy? Is that? Can you hit pause? So we're back from a urination.
Yeah, it was real quick.
Yeah, well,
I finally found the timer on here, which is great. So that's going to help us make sure that we can keep this like at a normal pace. I thought we were doing this. I thought we were up to like an hour and 45 minutes according to this timer. Total bullshit. Yeah. So good. Well, it's perfect.
I don't know. I've listened to the odd podcast, Rogan's. I'm not proud of saying that I listen to Rogan's podcast. Honestly,
I've heard great things. I just can't keep up. He does 3 hours every day.
They call it a pumpkin if they go over a certain point. So I guess it's some sort of actual problem if they go over a certain amount of time. It's more difficult to upload or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they'll block it and say like you can't have more than a 3-hour podcast or something. Otherwise, we're in another category.
Happening.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's never happened.
I don't know if it's a 3-hour thing.
I think 1 hour is like more than enough time to listen to a bunch of people fucking talk shit.
I wish mine were 2 hours. I want mine 2 hours long. I want my commute into work and my commute home. That's what I want. I want it covered.
You can listen to 2 of them then.
Yeah, but everyone's on like 45 minutes or hour and a half, and I always end up, and sometimes I'll end up on Monday picking up on a podcast that I listen to on Friday afternoon.
If I know I've got a couple days off and I finish one halfway home or something, I go to music. Make sure. I'm like, you know what? This is a good time to walk away. I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah. Not interesting for the podcast probably, but I found that I think
that's all right. We'll cut it.
The reason that I'm losing, the reason I'm using so much data is that I'll say like play KMFDM with the band.
Yeah.
And that'll be like, that song sucks. I'm skipping through songs as they start.
And they're loading.
And they're loaded up. Yeah. The whole thing. So I'm just going data, and then I'll find my song.
How much data you got?
8 gigs.
And I never go over that.
I use it every month.
That's because you're on Instagram.
I get the 95. No, I'm Instagram. I only do shit at home. The only things I do is music in the car. So.
All right. So, because we want to, maybe another 15 minutes max.
Let's
here.
keep this thing going with unless you have another idea. I love this celebrities where they belong.
Well, that's good. So, when was the last one we did? Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis.
It's on you.
God damn, did I blow that. Okay. What's a favorite celebrity, man? Someone that belongs.
Wait, go female. We were talking about females.
Yeah, but I don't have a famous female actress. I mean, I do love Roseanne, but you already brought up John Goodman.
Really? I heard she's a piece of shit lately.
Well, I mean, she's always been funny.
What about
a female that I...
Lucy Liu, Marvel Universe? Where does she fit?
Oh, no. God, no. She's terrible, Lucy Liu. She already had her thing. She's done. Okay, how about Sarah Silverman? Can we find a fit for her somewhere?
Shit. I could see. Yeah, she could fit somewhere.
Can we fit her?
Sarcastic as fuck. You know what? If it wasn't already cast, and I don't know, you probably haven't watched this because it's a Netflix show, but Jessica Jones... She would have made a good Jessica Jones.
Oh.
She would have been a great Jessica Jones, actually. Probably even better than who I consider one of my biggest crushes, Christian Ritter, who's playing her now. But
Christian Ritter. Oh, you got a crush on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Just a very scrawny broad.
Kate does, too. Kate's got a huge crush on her.
Yeah. I like the, what's her name? The one from Two Broke Girls, which I don't want to use that reference because it's an awful fucking show.
It upsets me. I know who you're talking about.
Kat Dennings.
Kat Dennings, yeah. It upsets me that she's in that show because that show is garbage.
Fucking awful.
And she's amazing in everything else.
Yeah.
She's
like actually kind of good in the show, despite the fact that she's just delivering fucking laugh track shithead piece of shit jokes. They're awful.
That was
awful
like, hey,
jokes.
do you want to have a job for the next however many years?
Can't
Monday
blame her.
to Friday.
You'd be fucking stupid to turn it down.
This
30
paycheck.
grand an episode.
We'll back up the truck rate full of money into your garage.
You'd be an idiot to turn that down, and everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman was an artist, and he did that. Like everyone has to do that.
And once he made a name for himself, then he was like, "Fuck."
If you turn this down, you'll never work in Hollywood again. And who's she to not believe that? She's 23, 24 when she probably took that job. Maybe I don't know, if she's 27, she took that job.
I have no idea how old she is, but she was awesome in Thor. She was wicked.
She was in Thor.
Was she also the one in Infinite Playlist? Was that Kat Dennings? Yeah, I like that movie, man. You didn't like that?
No, God, that's the most impossibly awful movie I've ever seen. That's
There's
horrible.
No way that's worse. All right, here.
I guess
what
it was
actually is the worst movie you've ever seen, or the worst movie you've seen in the last 6 months?
Yes, I have an answer to that.
Yeah,
it was Adam Sandler's The Week of.
Oh, I heard about that.
It is.
I haven't watched any of those.
So out of control. It seems like a. I think I talked about this the other week. I said the same thing, but I said it seems like a pickup basketball game of just shitty. Like they pick good actors, but okay, yeah, you Rachel Dratch, okay, you Chris Rock, okay, let's all be silly for 3 minutes straight, and then
David Spade's in it.
I don't know if David Spade was in it.
Right.
I don't know, but honest to Christ, you wouldn't care if he was. So it was just throwing shit at a wall, seeing what sticks, and I think there was one skit in the entire movie that had a little bit of a laugh in it, where Sandler wouldn't turn on the air conditioning in a car. And it was kind of funny. It was Chris Rock just sitting there being like, "Can you turn the air conditioning on?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, yeah. Just let me know when you want it on." He's like, "Yeah, I'd like it on right now." He's like, "Anytime you say, I'll just turn it." And like Sam was being like crazy cheap with gas. It was pretty funny. And then at no other point,
it's like you could relate with it.
Spoiler alert: there's a scene where they go like, "Well, how do we get out of this?
Me,
Should we just get?" Yeah, I'm gonna ruin this for you. The movie is ruined.
I'm not gonna watch it.
They go, "Oh, you should. You should experience it."
No, you're not really selling me on this.
There's
movie,
a scene where they go like, "Okay, so how do we get out of this?" And like, "Okay, what if we put bats down the chimney?" And they're like, "Oh, we should just do that." And they go, "Yes." And then now it's just like,
but they just had a bucket of bats.
No, they went. Now that goes, it cuts scenes to like 55-year-old, 45-year-old people catching bats in an alleyway, and then it cuts to again Steve Buscemi, which I'm really sad for Steve Buscemi. He shouldn't be doing terrible shit like this, stuffing bats down a chimney, and then
this sounds amazing.
And then the morning, yeah, there's the mayor in there, and the mayor's having sex with his secretary, and then the bats are flying over the place, and then the wedding can't happen. They're like, this is.
You know what's funny about that is like,
but that was
the way
10
you're
minutes.
explaining it, like if this was 15 years ago, we would have loved it.
No way, dude. No way.
I'm pretty sure everyone's just old enough.
The way they constructed, you know what? If that was the movie, if you actually said, here's a movie where we're gonna catch bats, stuff them in the mayor's office, and fuck up a venue, and you made that the whole movie, that would have been maybe funny, and all the ins and outs of how to do that. But all that shit I just described, that happened in 3 minutes.
Yeah,
it was a 3-minute thing. Like you can't just, and then the next scene is just somewhere else. There was no consequence to what just happened with bats. And
that was
mayor's.
Resolved. It's like we put the bats in
move
there.
on to the next thing, and Rachel Dratch bought something online, and it's caused it's just fucking just nonsense. Nothing matched up. It was just sketch after sketch.
I don't think anything about those movies is supposed to be good, because what I heard was that
Sandler signed a 6 deal,
and he was like, "Sweet, I'm just gonna pump out a bunch of garbage. Fuck it, I got my money, and I don't get any money on the back end, so who gives a fuck?"
What I don't get about that is that he's got his money to pursue any art he wants to now,
yeah,
doesn't he? Maybe. He can make 12 more Punch Drunk Loves, And Punch Drunk Love is great. But I mean, that's another project.
You can't just make 12 more though. That takes a lot of work. So like the way I see it is,
but
Adam
I'm
Sandler
saying
was
he
like,
has the financial backing to do it if you wish.
You're giving me,
yeah.
Because maybe he's fucking tired of being an artist. Maybe he's just like, oh, sweet, look at this check. I could spend the next 2 years working on a movie.
You should be more embarrassed of it.
I could spend 3 months with my buddies doing whatever the fuck we want, and I still get the same check.
But I think he already has that. I think he has infinite money. Like Keanu Reeves, he said one time.
Yeah, but he doesn't have infinite time.
I could live my life over 20 times with the money I have.
But he doesn't have infinite time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe he really took Click to heart. You know, maybe he was like, wait, I'm wasting my time making shitty movies, and I don't even need the money.
I think you just fell into my point.
No,
he doesn't need the money.
But he's getting a shitload of money.
He's making shitty movies.
I think he's just making quick movies. And you can't make a quick, good movie. That's my guess.
There are quick good movies. They have happened.
You want to know my shittiest movie I saw recently?
Yes, please.
This is like a no one knows this fucking movie probably. It was on Netflix. Mm-hmm. It's called Titan or The Titan.
Oh yeah, that's where they like hyper evolve the humans.
Yeah, did you watch it?
Yeah, it's a cool concept. Shit movie. Yeah, real bad.
How disappointed were you at the end?
Real bad, real quick. Yeah. I was
stoked to watch it.
And I was not as disappointed as when I watched Chappie. But I was pretty disappointed. I still
haven't seen that.
Oh god!
I was really stoked about that.
I was so excited for Chappie. Chappie, I thought was
looked amazing.
Coolest concept ever. Yeah. And they hid how bad that movie was. They knew it was bad.
Really?
They hid how bad that movie was in the trailers. Like, let's not let on like any of the South African Antwerp nonsense bled into it. It was. What is it?
Why were they de-Antword?
They're in it.
Yeah,
they're the two other lead actors.
And they were
it's
terrible?
Chappie and those two cunts.
And they were terrible?
Oh, fuck, of course they're horrible. What do you think they're going to be?
I don't know. They're very captivating people to like watch interviews and shit. So I expected something
because
big.
The reason they're captivating is because they don't really give a shit about their reputation. That's great.
Yeah.
But
when it came to acting, they were garbage?
Oh, it was just... What happened
What about like a hungover Sunday, whatever movie?
No,
it's not even worth getting through?
I wouldn't recommend it. What I thought was... I mean, I guess maybe, because the reason I was so upset about it is because the concept was they created maybe accidental or not, they created a computer chip that mimicked the way a baby's brain works.
And then they could,
with accelerated learning ability.
Machine learning, yeah. Gotcha.
So basically, they created a human brain, baby form, accelerated learning. So the baby in 3 days learns what a baby learns in 3 years.
Yeah.
It learned crazy fast, and it just...
Such a great concept.
Awesome concept.
Yeah.
And then now it falls in the hands of like just gutter trash South African pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And it's not like frowned upon. It's more celebrated. So it's wearing jewelry and it's firing guns and being a piece of shit and talking slang and being awful to people, and it's just like it's just fucking sad. It's really fucking sad because if we actually ever were to create real artificial intelligence like that, it would only just mimic pieces of shit around the world anyway. So
maybe the movie is incredibly true.
Yeah, maybe it's accidentally true. But I think it was more of it was supposed to be comical and entertaining about, look at this robot act like a piece of shit just like us. Look at it fire Uzis and talk shit to cops. It's like, this is not cool, man. This is a huge bummer for me.
Maybe that was the point. Maybe it wasn't supposed to be that.
Maybe.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so I gotta check it out.
But you know what? I guess maybe I insist you watch it then.
I'm going to watch it so that I can actually give you my opinion. It probably won't happen on the podcast.
I haven't heard anyone else. Well, you know what?
Maybe we'll revisit it.
Maybe we'll just do a Chappie-based podcast. Go back.
That'll get the guys coming in to listen.
Apparently there was a podcast where guys watched Grown Ups 2 every day for a year.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, they just kept on talking about like how they're getting by. I think it was like 2 Vice journalists or something. They just like they had to watch Grown Ups 2 every day for a year. And
what a waste of time.
Through it. Well,
yeah,
I guess.
But the Titan.
The Titan.
Like, what was there anything about that movie that you enjoyed?
I like the idea of being like we want someone that can breathe just straight nitrogen, and the plausibility of like doing that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like,
I thought the house was kind of cool. They had this little like
yeah.
It was a nice house.
Oh yeah, the architecture was fantastic. Which is what I look for in movies.
And the neighborhood they lived in, I was like, hey, this looks kind of neat. They had some cool tests they were doing. Then a guy died.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, maybe this is getting kind of cool. Then all of a sudden, from one scene where they were like, trying to get built or trying to like withstand whatever the fuck they were injected with, and then the next scene was them in full fucking like latex makeup.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Like,
they
they
had like big cones in their forehead.
Yeah, there was like no transition. All of a sudden, weirdo dude who can't move his face and had gills and fucking whatever else.
Yeah, and
staring at his
for whatever
kid,
reason he
like,
can't relate emotionally or something, which is like it's just stupid.
Yeah, like such a heightened beast.
You could have made like a positive movie about that. Could have been like a fucking.
I was so pissed off that I don't remember what happened after that. What happened? Did they? Kill him?
I think he just walked off into the distance as you would with a shitty movie. I honestly think that's what happened. Like
I remember him being in the pool. Yeah. I remember there was a gunfight.
Yeah, I didn't care. That was one
I
of
have
those.
no idea how it
tuned
even
out
ended.
right away.
Kate and I were watching it. It was just sitting there. And we're just like, well, this took a turn for the worst.
You tuned out at the exact same point as I did.
Yeah.
I think there was a staircase. And I'm quite sure, like, we're talking about the exact same point. He's, like, walking down some stairs, and she's
like, a fight, and the kid was
that
there.
guy? And, like,
and I remember him going,
what?
he fell in the pool.
Yeah.
And then, like, I honestly don't remember. There was a guy and a girl. And they became the two weirdo fucking
And they braided up together.
Fish people.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was a piece of shit. Masterpiece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe we should do masterpiece or masterpiece of shit. And watch movies.
Who gives a shit about our opinions on what's good and bad? Oh God, you know what we shouldn't be as critics, because goddamn, there's too many critics, right?
Yeah, I mean, I give everything a pass for the most part.
Yeah,
I give a lot of passes. Like if it was up to me, if I was like the Siskel Ebert, it'd just be like, I enjoyed it. I don't know.
If I went to the movies and watched a movie, I always walk up being like,
right.
I'll reflect on it later, being like, wait a minute. That was actually super fucking shitty.
Which one was the last one you did that? Because I know which one was for me. At least one of the last ones I did like that.
It was probably one of the X-Men movies or one of the. There's always those. Fuck, that is a good question though. Will you actually reflect back and like that was actually shitty?
This was one that I walked out being like, it was okay. It was Amazing Spider-Man 2. So the Andrew Garfield. Not Tobey Maguire.
Oh, okay.
And it had fucking
the lizard. It had the lizard
doctor.
doctor.
Had Shocker, and maybe it had the lizard doctor in it.
Oh no, that's
Shocker.
you're not
Jamie
Electro.
Foxx?
You're talking about Electro.
Oh, sorry, Electro.
Yeah, Shocker's the guy with like the power fist.
Yeah,
those are very different guys because one is a piece of shit.
Fair enough.
And Electro is actually very powerful.
So Electro, they had Jamie Foxx as Electro.
Yeah,
and he was like this weird, crazy guy who worked in the plant or wherever the fuck he was, and he ended up with powers. And
stupid.
I remember watching it and being
and
like,
Rhino. They had Rhino in it too. They had
Paul Giamatti. Only in the beginning, they were trying to set up for like the Sinister Six.
The way they edited it, they're just like, you know what, we're just gonna close this because they knew it was so bad. They edited it just like, you know what, you don't want to see the sequel.
So they just like closed up shop. So, but there was a point in that movie where you're watching the fight. It's like it must have been close to the final battle or maybe the final battle, and he hits Peter Parker. He hits Spider-Man, and Spider-Man hits off a whole bunch of things, and it plays the notes to Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Oh, that's super shitty.
And I remember watching it and being like, "Oh, that was kind of a weird." And
then he gets again,
and then he like gets knocked out of somewhere else, and he's shocked or whatever. And I remember being like, "That's a bit weird."
Good idea.
Yeah, no. It's
what movie producer being like, we have to do this?
What if he hits all the things on the rooftop? And they play the notes to Itsy Bitsy Spider.
And you know, there's tons of like real writers and artists being like, we have these great ideas, and then there's honestly some fucking like Harvey Weinstein cunt going like, guys, I know it'll hit big with the kids. He's got like a big cigar in his mouth.
To my nephew.
Yeah, I know what's big with the kids. I like the silly stuff. And can we put in a dancing penguin somewhere?
Yeah, he's a spider, and we're gonna play Itsy Bitsy Spider, and it's gonna be great.
Look,
it's gonna be great,
guys. We need a hit song. We need to get a big production here. We're talking fireworks, graffitis, all kinds of the stuff that the kids love.
Yeah, he's an Electro. We'll make fireworks go off.
How about electronic dance music? They like that. The kids.
What's that? The dubstep. I think it was dubstep. Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Oh,
I think that's what it was.
Great.
Totally weird choice. And here I am. I'm watching this. I'm stoked out of my mind. Can't believe how excited I am because I love to see Spider-Man on the big screen every single time.
Oh, dude, I'm well awesome. Up. when I see Spider-Man web slinging,
Yeah.
and flying through New York,
How
and just,
good does that feel?
when he actually like cruises through? Honestly, it's the only thing that wells me up. The hulking, I get pretty excited.
Yeah.
But when I honestly Christ, when I see Spidey doing that thing, I well up.
So I'm loving it. I watch that whole movie. I walk out of there and I'm like, oh man, like Spider-Man on the big screen. This is great. It's so good. And then I like start, that movie sits with me for, I mean, it might have been only 3 hours. And I'm like, I think that movie was fucking garbage. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that's fucking garbage.
When's the last movie you actually walked out of?
I've never walked out.
I've never walked out of a movie.
Never.
That's
Not
good.
once.
Good on you.
Yeah. Never.
It's only ever been forced upon me. I've never willingly walked out of a movie. It's happened twice though, where everyone left and I had to leave. Oh, sorry, 3 times.
Before you tell me what movie, I bet you those are some of my favorite movies. For some reason, people tell me this, and I'm like, I don't know.
I promise you they're not. I promise you they're not.
All right.
I promise you they're not.
So what movies have you walked out of?
Okay. Well, there's one. There's Batman, and it was the last installment of whatever the fuck that Batman nonsense was. It was one with Dr. Freeze and Bane and
I'll tell you,
Uma Thurman.
I've never watched that one.
Oh, yeah.
I refuse to watch that one.
We were 10 minutes in, and they started ice skating around,
Yeah.
and everyone walked out, and I was like, guys, come. All right. And that was the most willing I ever was in walking out. And then there's another one called Lucky You, which I have a friend who's a big poker player fan, and it's a movie starring Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
And I said, like, it's Drew Barrymore. We're not watching this. Like, it's poker thing. I want to watch the poker movie. I'm like, look, asshole. Like, just because you're awesome at poker doesn't mean this is going to be good. You just stop. I'm not watching a full Drew Barrymore movie. It's Eric Bana and Drew Barrymore.
In a poker movie?
Poker movie, yeah. It had, I think it was Angelina Jolie's. It wasn't. Anyway, it had some old dude.
And so you walked out?
No, he walked out. He
Who walked out?
Matt Wood walked out based on a poker hand he felt was unintelligible. No one would do that. I'm like, so an hour and 20, we're walking out. We're actually in the last 8 minutes of the movie. We're walking out
based on a Drew Barrymore movie that's not close enough to reality.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's that.
Sorry, Wood.
Yeah, fuck. No, he knows. He knows all about it. I still chew him out for that all the time. Oh, we're seeing Lucky You. You want to see Lucky You again?
A movie I was close to walking out of.
Mm-hmm.
I was with Gibson, and it was Gibson's pick. He's gonna love that I said that. Because he picked going to see this because we were gonna go watch people bend air. We couldn't believe it.
Oh, The Last Airbender.
The Last Airbender. What a piece of fucking dump that was. We're like, I don't even know what this is. We never watched the show. We never watched the show. I've heard the show's amazing. I've never watched it.
Yeah, if you were like a loyal fan of that show, I don't know anything about the Airbender. I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it's like that style, right?
Dragon Ball.
It's in that vein,
it's like that style,
like, exciting, whatever. And I've heard the show's awesome. We see this trailer, and we're like, what? People bending air? We got to go see this.
Yeah,
we just get really excited. We're like, whatever. It's going to be a good movie. They're hyping it up.
No.
Gibson picks it. He picks the movie, and I was like, "All right, let's go check it out." What a turd! Mm-hmm. And the whole time, that was the best because I just keep getting to ribbit. And I looked up the reviews to it when we left, and I've kept a screenshot of this. And I don't remember how long ago that movie came out.
No.
I kept a screenshot, and I'm gonna fuck up the quote, but the review was, less appealing than a giant cinematic wet fart. That was the review. Yeah. And I was just like, that summed it up perfectly. Yeah.
In fact, I guess at this point, it was, I've never walked out of a movie willingly. I don't think I've ever, I think the third one I was going to talk about was, this movie's totally unfair to the movie. I thought it was actually great. It was shaping up to be funny. I loved all the previews. Problem was I took like 8 guys to see it.
What movie?
It was called Be Kind, Rewind with Jack Black.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of dudes that would rather get drunk or play poker or darts or whatever.
Like, why are we here?
And I interfered, and I said, let's go see this movie. It's supposed to be fucking awesome. And I think we were like, they gave it a decent shot. I think they sat for like 40 minutes, and they were all just furious with me.
Were they already drinking?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, I probably was too, but they were just...
Have you watched it since? Like, did you get to
I've never seen it since.
It's a good movie.
I think it was winding up. I honestly, it was 40.
Most Def, Jack Black.
Yeah, and it was a really good concept. I thought it was, they had to reshoot it all. Great stuff. I thought it was a fantastic
great
movie. Yeah. I think they walked out during some kissing scene or something, and the guy's just like, that's it. Oh, no, I did walk out of a movie. I did legitimately walk out of a movie. But I don't know what it was. I think it was like a Little Red Riding Hood or something. It just happened. Like I think it was called Into the Woods.
Oh, really? I actually enjoyed that.
Yeah, I didn't get to. It was me and Wood went with Dave and his
It's a
wife.
full-on musical.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
and we were in
musical.
there. We were in there for 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, it's a musical? And Dave's like, yeah. I'm like, are you mad if we jet? And he's like, no, not at all. I'm like, okay, we're going. And we just walked out.
You just didn't.
I didn't know.
I mean, maybe you weren't in the vibe for a musical.
It was for babies. I would think that's.
I mean, a musical's not always for babies, but I can appreciate someone not wanting to watch that.
Fairy tale stories and musicals. That's for babies.
Yeah,
that's
I get
for
it.
babies.
I get it.
Or it's for moms to enjoy with babies.
I never seen it, but The Huntsman or something like that. That I don't know if that was
Cinderella. No, I don't think it was. No, Cinderella and the Huntsman.
It's got Thor in it, I think.
Cinderella and no, I think it was actually a good movie. That one. Is it?
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it might be good. Cinderella versus, or I don't think it's versus.
Well, we've talked about a lot of movies,
Uh-huh.
and we've given a lot of opinions on movies. Maybe we'll dive into other movies going forward. We should cut this off.
We should,
and then we'll edit it down. We'll figure out what worked, what didn't. This may never see the light of day.
I hope it doesn't.
Yeah,
but I like how easily this has happened.
Yeah, this is happening pretty good, but at least this gives us the idea to look at a few things that, does this work? What's it sound like? I think, honestly, we might need to sit at a real table, potentially.
Yeah, across from each other.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But we'll take a look at what works, what doesn't sound good.
Hand signals for when I got to urinate, because that's got to...
Well, I mean...
you got to urinate.
If you can't hold your piss for 1 hour, then we're fucked, but...
Oh, no, I'm going to pee like 3 times per 40 minutes. That's not an exaggeration.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can do that. We'll just get you like a sign you can lift up.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. For sure.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know how we're ever going to sign off our podcast, but I'm sure that'll come one day, and we'll figure it out. We don't need to figure it out now. But thanks for listening. If anyone ever actually gets to hear this, and if not, then we'll steal snippets from this, and this will help us figure out the production for later. And you got any last words?
This will never work.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.